So anyway, so the coffee ad, that basically it sort of limited how people perceived me in England. So it was like, oh, what do we do now? But it opened how people saw me in America, because they'd never heard of me before. But suddenly there were doors open in America. So again, Sarah said, why don't you go over there? I'll stay here with the kids. See what you can do. And after 2 months, I got a job called VR5, which went for 12 eps, and then came and went a few times, and then I got Buffy.
Tell us about it. Were you familiar with the movie?
Was that what?
Were you familiar with the movie?
No. Well, I'd seen it a long time before, but when my agent put me out for it, and I read the script, and I remember very well, I was sitting in a Tex-Mex restaurant in Santa Monica, literally splitting my sides, but not literally, obviously, because that would be, it would all come out. As I was eating. Oh dear, that's good. But I was laughing, and it's a very sad thing when you see an actor sitting on his own, pissing himself. Oh dear, dear, dear. Time to take him, poor Johnny, dear Johnny. And sort of just, I really wanted it, and I remember stopping, before I went to the audition, I stopped at a mate of mine, a guy called Tom McDonald, who'd been costumer on VR5, who also, as it happens, is playing piano on a couple of tracks on this album I'm doing, because he's a beautiful pianist. So, I stopped off for a cup of coffee there, and I said, I really want this gig. I really want this gig. And he said, well, then you're going to get it. I went, well, all right then. And I went and saw Marsha Shulman, who was casting, and Joss Whedon. And they called me, I had the usual thing with the network, and I remember my agent that night said, well, maybe you should see the film, just so you know what it's about. So I watched the film and went, fucking hell, what's this? This is a different thing altogether. And walked in through the door, and Joss, bless his heart, was standing seeing people in, and I went, I watched the film last night. He went, no, put that out of your mind. This has nothing to do with that, because he didn't have a great experience with the film.
Funny that.
Yeah. When he was 19, and they told him, they said, no, don't worry about your funny, witty, amusing script that you've written. We'll show you how to make a horror film. They really knew how to make a horror film.
So the TV show was underway, and you got the part, obviously. Did they say, right, you're tied into 7 years and you're going to stay in Hollywood all that time, or was it a sort of a bit at a time? Did you know, I suppose what I'm getting at is, did you know right at the beginning how big a part it was going to become?
It was a regular. I actually, when it came to 5 years, I thought I'd signed a contract for 5 years, and found out that it was for 7. But it is a weird thing when you test. We're just talking about me testing for something at the moment. I don't think it'll happen, but you basically, once they've agreed the money and all the rest of it, you sit in a corridor and you sign the contract for 7 years before you got the part. It's to stop, if an actor knows that they want you, then the idea is that you might go back and say, oh, you want me? All right, well, I'm going to have more money. So their way of dealing with that is to get you to sign your life away before you got the part. And then you go in and audition for it. It's weird.